Hi, beautiful ones. I'm going live here. Welcome to anybody who's coming in, and thank you for viewing this video if you're catching it later. Yeah, I'm not able to edit on my computer right now so easily, so let's do this. What I've been working on right now, I wanted to share for some time. I've started a lunch with some cucumber noodles with the mandolin, so it's not spiralized. And what we're making today is this, I'm calling it a chutney. I don't have a word for it. It's like chopped condiment. It's based on some of the other things that I make. That is a nice condiment with, plain fruit and vegetables and everything else delicious you're having. What we're starting with, let's get right to it. I have in here, I've soaked these raisins overnight. I kept them in the refrigerator. I rinsed them first. They've been rinsed, soaked, and they're soft. That's the beginning. And the other things that are needed for this are some sort of favorite pepper. Here I have a jalapeno that's starting to turn red. I don't have a whole red one. I've also done this with other much spicier ones, like the peppers that are equivalent of habaneros and Scotch bonnet. So this recipe is going to be a basic base. What we're going to do is we're using the raisins and the pepper as the base. And we might add a couple other things. We'll see how long it takes. Okay, this is how it goes. Ready? So these are simply, get yourself, well, this requires a space for chopping. I have done this on a smaller board before and had it as specially as the board for making food like this. And then we just start. Thank you, food. Get yourself, or let's see, it requires a knife that's going to have a sharp blade, as you can see, this kind of cleaver or some of those other sets. What is the name of the Japanese knife? It's like a satoro or something like that, that shape of a knife that has a wide blade to it to some extent, because the chopping, you can see you can do this with the raisins less soaked. I have done it with just rinsed raisins that aren't soft. It just winds up with a stickier result. So it helps to have the sharp, wide knife for that. So this is what you do. It's this, it's kind of like kneading bread or making a pie crust. To bring everything to the middle and just start chopping. And then when the raisins are about to, halfway through, we take this pepper, let's see. And of course, the quantity you use is dependent on how you like your food. Technique is to first chop the pepper small. And always, always, always remember, if you're handling spicy peppers, chile would be the word for it. If you're handling them at all, keep your hands away from your face and your private parts, because it will get on there and it will hurt. It definitely will. Yay. So then this gets in here like this. And this works, like I said before, with raisins that are not soaked. So if you find yourself having a craving for a sweet and spicy chutney, I think when it's wet, it's a lot like a chutney. It's not prepared the same way, but I feel like it performs on the plate like a chutney would, like Marmite. I don't eat Marmite, but I've had it. What are the benefits here? What's the benefit of something like this? What's beneficial in this combination and the quality? Well, many raw foodists can perhaps, um, many might stay away from dried fruit, and that often comes in as one of the things. But here, if you soak it, it's okay. And I have to say that it has come up in medical medium information that raisins are actually quite nutritious. It is. He makes a point to point it out in his books. The nutrition and the properties that raisins can bring to your body. So don't shun them. And they're nice because obviously most people can get, we probably can get organic raisins at a decent price. There's golden raisins out there as well. There's lots of different grapes out there, and there's going to be a lot of different raisins. So I would encourage people and you to consider something like this. It helps bring, part of the raisins is that it's going to bring glucose into your body, which is good. Even if you're with diabetes, you just want to cut the fats, bring those fats out for a long time, and then your body can re-regulate to use the glucose that you put in to take it to your brain to build your muscles and function, nurture the things that your body needs. So that's what raisins bring off the top of my head. And then the spicy pepper, these spicy peppers, um, all the different ones, everything from, what is it, cayenne, jalapeno, habanero. This spice heats the liver in a beneficial way. There's foods and lifestyles that are going to heat the liver in a non-beneficial way, which causes a lot of stagnation. But they actually kind of shake it up and allow the liver to function. It brings like life into your liver. Okay, let's keep chopping. When they're soft, when they're harder, less soaked, it just has a slightly different texture. Everything gets a little bit smaller. Like now that the pepper is chopped up in there, it's hard to get it smaller. So if you want the pepper smaller in the chop chutney, the chop raw chutney, then cut it smaller before integrating it into the raisins. Part of this, though, is that instead of mixing it in a bowl, this incorporates the flavors with each other quickly. Why don't I use a food processor? Because right now I don't have one, and I know sometimes you just don't have a food processor. And I think there's just a nice quality to putting something together like this. Now, here are some other options. Here I have just a small piece of celery. Now this is very strong. This is going to be very strong how it is. Let's see. Want to taste it? Yeah, the mushrooms. I almost said mushrooms. Raisins. That's another video. Mushrooms could still be chopped more, but for sweeter, don't soak the raisins very long. This is a lot more mild, but there's the spice and it's watery. It's refreshing. When it's sweeter, I like to do things like put in some celery to kind of, I don't know, it enhances it. It's going to add a little bit of like a salty flavor slightly, and it adds a different crunch. Um, you can also, especially when they're drier, put in some lime juice or some lemon juice. This is very good, especially when they're drier. Today I might put in a bulb of garlic. I won't put the celery in. Here's some beautiful tops when I buy my celery. It comes with all the tops. So here's what you don't get at the grocery store usually, a lot of these. There's this, and then there's about this much celery, and there's about this much of these leaves on the top. Very good and potent. Okay, I'll keep you here for a little bit longer, especially if anybody has any questions. So again, I'll just chop, 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 chop everything as tiny as you can to start. And it goes. Celery always helps enhance not just the flavor, but the nutrition and absorption of nutrients from foods. It's an enhancer. That might be why it shows up in, like, before science tried to dissect everything. Celery, I think, naturally showed up in a lot of uh, food traditionally for flavor, but maybe our foremothers and forefathers suspected, could tell that it was enhancing the life of their food. So a little bit of celery and things that you make every day, especially when you're getting your hands on. There's a nice garlic cut up. When you're getting your hands on some nice organic celery, then you got yourself a winner. This you could do, which I didn't do. I meant to, I'm sorry. Put like a towel or something under your cutting board. This counter is a little bit off center or unlevel. So if you put a towel underneath the cutting board, then you can just get chopping away. I had stayed away from garlic and chili, which I mention often in my videos. Um, for the stimulating parts of it, that we're not supposed to be very hygienic in a way, but they're still serving as healing tools and flavor in my food. Most of the time, 99.9% of the time, the garlic and pepper are raw. And actually, Medical Medium in this new book he has, Brain Saver, has therapies. One of them involves, these therapies are like consolidated and focused. So you can do one with like time tea, where you have it every so many hours and you make very strong time tea to heal. Um, there's one that I'm mentioning it because he has one with garlic, taking a clove of garlic with some sort of glucose rich food like apple or potato, every few hours for combating viruses and bacteria, as well as, yeah, that's the main purpose. All right, lovies, that is okay for me today. This is really nice. It'll keep if you don't eat the whole thing. Let's put it in here. People I know say, don't do this on the board. I don't do it very hard. You can use the back of your knife. My back of my knife, this one doesn't work so well for scraping, the cutting boards. You don't like this way because it says it's scraping and not good. This is the way, really. So let's try it that way. And it goes that way anyway. So here we have a garlic and jalapeno raisin chutney that you really, really can't go wrong with. You can't. It's good. It's good for you. This is good for you. Try again. Another taste. You'll see. I invented this at when I was staying. Can you hear me? Staying at what do we call it? A community in Ecuador. It was meant to be primarily for raw food people. Um, well, the basic part of the story is I came up with this recipe there, and it is something that they have taken on to serve at their fruit festival. I don't know what they call it, but it literally started out with the peppers that were growing there on the land. They're more like little Scotch bonnets or habanero, one would call them, and then just raisins that we could order in. I couldn't make enough of it. I'd make it and it was gone very, very, very quickly. Boys like it, men like it. Okay, beautifuls, I'm back off. This is going to accompany my noodles. I'm going to make here I've put in mango and tomato, some of that celery I just showed you, garlic, and part of a lime and lime juice. And I'll go on the noodles with some lettuce. Very simple today, and this will enhance the sweetness. That's it. Maybe I'll post this on Instagram. Please, if you will, subscribe and join in here. I really enjoy making these videos for you. My name is Janet again, and my website is UniqueRawFoods. And there, I've been developing that website for a couple years. They're raw food recipes. There is a 3-step course to help you transition out of your illness, transition out of being stuck in your lifetime, out of maybe foods that aren't good for you. A very good tool for transitioning rather than just jumping into the lake, cold lake. I have a new recipe ebooklet. That's all the recipes I've ever published on the website. All the recipe booklets have additional information in with them. They're very unique recipes. Don't be afraid. Stop by and pick it up. It's very affordable, and I would appreciate your support. What else do I have there? And of course, my videos here that I love you stopping by. Of course, recipes. And one of the best things I think is there is a shop at the website at Unique Raw Foods shop. I have over 50 products. Everything is marked down. I can do that right now, and I have a great supplier that ships everything to you. So please get on, give it a try, share it with your friends. take some of the funds away from Amazon, lower that, and let us people work. Stay strong, stay beautiful. Stop by again. Thank you. Bye bye. I'm going to end it now.